At a busy junction in the western part of Amsterdam, there is a sandwich bar. Tamer Argun, the owner of the shop, has spent nearly 2 years to open his business. Due to long and complicated procedures and bureaucratic deadlocks, he still hasn't succeeded. We ask him to tell us his side of the story.
Hello, I am Tamer Akgün. I am from Amsterdam and I'm the owner of this sandwich shop.
So, Tamer, the sandwich bar is closed now. You've been having a lot of trouble with the regulations and paperwork. So, can you tell us what happened?
The rules, they are killing me. That's what's happening, you know.
So, what kind of rules are killing you?
The rules of the government, what we have to do, but the government, they don't know what the rules are, so they can't help me because they are their rules. So it's very complicated.
So you know more about the rules than the government?
Yeah, but I don't have I don't have any power in my hand to change it, but I know it more, I think.
What do you find most frustrating about all those rules?
Waiting lists. Yeah.
So with how many government agencies did you have to deal?
I don't know anymore, but I think 10, 15, 20. I didn't count anymore after a year and a half. Yeah, I didn't count anymore, but a lot.
So how long did it take you to start the sandwich bar?
2 years. And still I didn't open. Rules again.
So how do you feel now, after 2 years?
A little bit frustrated, a little bit fucked up, a little bit tired, not rich.
You spend a lot of money?
Yeah, a lot of money, time, energy, all those investments.
So what are you gonna do now?
I don't know now. I'm tired. I'm broke, you know. I'm a broke man.
The City Council has developed several initiatives to facilitate starting entrepreneurs. So-called one-stop shops are deemed to relieve entrepreneurs from steep administrative burdens. Unfortunately, the one-stop shops have not yet changed a fragmented practice of service delivery and law enforcement. Erik Gerritsen is the city manager of Amsterdam. He made the unusual decision to get involved with this particular case. Confronted with the problems of the sandwich bar, Mr. Gerritsen explains what the strategic challenges from his perspective are. So how do you feel now, after 2 years?
A little bit frustrated, a little bit fucked up, a little bit tired, not rich.
You spend a lot of... Hello, Mr. Gerritsen. You have seen the footage of the entrepreneur in the sandwich bar.
Yeah.
What did you feel when you saw that movie?
Well, I got a lot of course I already knew the story, but again my stomach contracted because it's terrible, it's horrible. City government shouldn't work like that.
What should Tamer have done differently?
Well, I think two things. Just start like all the other businessmen, small businessmen in Amsterdam, and just wait for all those different agencies to come by, and then ask for some time to comply with all the different regulations. and work along the way. And probably he should have gone to those one-stop shops.
And what could the government, according to you, do to make things easier for people like Tamer?
Well, in theory, it's very simple. It's like Tony Blair says: we have to organize government around problems instead of problems around government. But in actual practice, it's the last thing. All those different governmental agencies responsible for a little part of the solution, but nobody is responsible for solving the problem at hand. And everybody has a little part of the solution, but they actually, or they, in one way or another, they don't come together and working alongside each other, solving the problem for starting new business or.
And how do you
fighting.
explain that?
It's civilization gone crazy. We are so civilized in Western Europe, in Holland, in Amsterdam, that we have regulations for everything because we want to rule out all the risks for all our civilians in their other capacity. But when you are an entrepreneur or a dropout or someone who's unemployed, then suddenly all those different agencies are a nuisance, and then that's an understatement.
So what is your role as city manager in changing all these things?
Well, that's a difficult question because maybe the viewers think that I'm a very powerful chief executive civil servant, but in Amsterdam, as in whole of the Netherlands, nobody is the boss. The mayor is not the boss, he's appointed. The aldermen are elected. We have also subsidy government. They are only responsible for their little own region. A lot of directors or governmental directors are falling directly under their aldermen and not. So the only thing I can do in a situation where nobody is the boss is to seduce everybody to cooperate, bring them together, confront them with each other, and try to focus them all on the problem at hand instead of their own institutional interests.
So when you want to change the way the city government works in order to improve service delivery for entrepreneurs, what are your main dilemmas?
Well, I think the main dilemma is how to get people out of their organizational limits, out of their institutional paralysis. I think everybody wants to cooperate, everybody wants to solve problems in society. But the big dilemma is how do you get them out of their limited organizational interests, because all the finance structures and where people have to account for is directed towards the organizational interests, and they don't get the time to do something above the call of duty. They don't get paid to do something above the call of duty. So people like their autonomy. So on the one hand, everybody wants to cooperate. On the other hand, in practice, it is very difficult. And to get those things together, that's, I think, the big dilemma.
Why did you get involved in this case?
Oh, that's very easy. I do that a lot of times because it's the only way to keep in touch with what actually happens in the city. I mean, I'm here with all those papers and emails and a lot of meetings. But now and then you have to go into the city and actually experience what is happening out there.
And what have you personally learned from this experience?
Oh, that we still have a long way to go.